Yo, what up, you guys? It's your boy the Kryptonian Saiyan here, bringing you a review for One Piece, chapter 241. And this chapter has a lot of surprises in it, man. A lot of surprises. And I find it very interesting right now that I've gotten to this portion of One Piece because we get introduced to this character, Enel. Even though we don't actually see him, he is described by Cronus, his father, as being this omnipotent god. And the reason why I find that very interesting is if you guys are following me as I review Dragon Ball Super, you know, we have Zeno, and Zeno is being introduced as this omnipotent ruler who watches over the gods of destruction and has wiped out 6 universes in a blink of an eye. So it looks like we've got kind of something similar in this regard. The difference is Enel, I don't think he's on the same level, and it makes sense because the power scales in One Piece aren't quite at this point yet. So that's pretty cool, the fact that, you know, I'm kind of getting both of these at the same time. So without any further ado, I want to go a little further into Enel's character, or the mystique of it. And the reason why he interests me so much is when Nami is on the verge of being discovered, when the guy that is being chased by, it looks like these bounty hunters who are hunting down any trespassers in heaven, so heaven's bounty hunters, if you will. Like, when that's happening, basically Enel, or I'm guessing it's Enel because this blast of fire or lightning, couldn't really tell from the way it was drawn, but this blast just completely obliterates the area where the guy who was begging for Nami was. And right there, the guy who was wearing the tiki mask and the spear and the ancient Mayan getup that he had on, and the other 3 who were hunting down that other guy, it really seems like they take issue with it because one of them says, well, why do we even bother with this if he's going to get involved? And the guy in the tiki mask is like, hey, he's doing this simply because it saves time. And I thought that that was really interesting because it shows that this has happened more than once, and it's adding on to the world building. That's something I've really enjoyed with One Piece the last few chapters, is the fact that the world building has continued to expand, and now we have potential where there's actual gods. I would be a little disappointed if Enel just ended up being a devil fruit, you know, user, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me given the fact that if it's something like Nico Robin's ability, where if, you know, he can see it, he can attack it, that would be kind of interesting. But at the same time, I'd be disappointed if this was an actual physical being, given the fact that we have, like, you know, the whole heaven thing. And I told you guys before, you know, I saw different religious things kind of put in here. So I would like to see something, but at the same time, I trust Oda at this point, so I'm just kind of rolling with whatever he gives us. And one thing that I do have a small gripe with, not a big gripe, is the fact that it really looked like the guy in the tiki mask didn't see Nami. I know the rest of them, I can give them a pass for not seeing Nami, but from the way that it's drawn, it looks like the guy in the tiki mask is actually coming up behind Nami. And I don't know if it's because he might have been too far away to see her, but at the same time, if he's far enough away to where he can't see her, how would he actually see the guy that the other 3 are chasing? So that's just something that I just look at and I go, that's a little interesting. But I give major props to Nami for being able to dock her ship and to hide. You know, that's some stuff that Solid Snake would approve, man. You know, because Nami basically grabbed the cardboard box, and Solid Snake is sitting there saying, hey, I really approve of whatever it is you did, Nami. Like, that was pretty cool just to see how Nami could pull that off and how she gathers information. And she says, okay, I had a flashback. I remember this small chick that, you know, we know that she called up and said that you have people who are from the Blue Sea who are here, intruders. Like, we know that happened, and Nami's putting 2 and 2 together because she knows that they didn't have enough money to pay. And so Nami's like, I gotta get back, and rightfully so, because when the chapter opens up, it really seems like Luffy has it in his mind, like, oh, it's a god, and you mean there's a place I can't go? I'm going. Like, that's how it came across. And if that's the case, that's cool. You know, I figured that's what Oda was doing, because you have Sanji's reaction, like, what are you doing? Why are you eating? We need to go get Nami. You know, Sanji, all Nami, but then you have Chopper and Usopp and Zoro, they're like, he's really gonna go. I can't believe it. Like, he just got told we can't go. And this God is omnipotent. And even with somebody like Zoro, for Zoro to sit there and have a little hesitation, it just shows that this might actually be a serious offense or a serious affair, and for Luffy to be so gung-ho on going without actually knowing that Nami went. This goes into what I said in the last chapter, or the chapter before. I believe it was the last chapter. But Luffy has people on his crew who are there essentially to protect Luffy from Luffy. You know, Luffy, all about adventure. I swear to God, that better be a Viz translation. I smell an adventure. That is some corny shit. But the thing is Luffy is looking to get into whatever it is. You know, he takes the life and he kind of just goes along with it. It's kind of like the ocean currents, where the currents, they go in a certain direction, but depending on which direction the currents go, or which way they diverge, you're going to end up in a different area. That's the way Luffy goes. I personally feel that's the way you should live life, so I don't really have a problem with that. And I also feel that, like, that's why the crew is there, just in case Luffy falls off, there to pick him back up. You know, a lot of shonen mangas, they have this emphasis on friendship, and I like how the way Oda's done it. He's actually taken this trope and he's found a way to make it his own, in a sense, because you've had other mangas where the friends are there to serve that same purpose, but the way that the Straw Hat crew does, they do it in a way that you don't mind it, because there's so much chemistry there, and also it's coming from a different place. You can tell it's not plot convenient. It's more of, okay, Luffy, that's our captain, big idiot. What's he getting into? Let me go along to make sure. Like that I'm okay with that. In a sense, that's a trope in itself. But the way that everything is written, the delivery, the payoff is really good for that. And I like how when Konos' father is taking apart the Wave Rider that Luffy has, he tells him, like, look, like, I have to take this apart in order to see if this can actually operate. And then that's when we find out that it looks like the police, that are from Heaven's, Heaven's bounty hunters have alerted everyone. It looks like the police are coming, and it looks like the Skypiea police are coming in on Luffy and the others, because they do know that there are 7 intruders from the Blue Sea who have made it up there, and they say, hey, you strange people, stop. And so they've gone down to the beach, and I'm really interested to see if there's going to be a confrontation. Overall, pretty good chapter, man. Pretty good chapter. My chapter question for you all, I'm going to have 2. Is it Enel? And I really feel like it is Enel, because I did jump ahead and look at this in Japanese, and when I looked at it, I heard 2 things. I heard it with a U, and I heard it just Enel. And if it's just like how it is with a lot of characters with U in Japanese, then the U is going to be silent. So I'm going to go with Enel. But, I'll be interested to read that. I am pre-recording a lot of these, so it's just for my peace of mind, because, a lot of characters end up coming back. And then my second question for you all is going to be this one here. What did you think about this omnipotent God being introduced, and the fact that Luffy and the others are being hunted down? For me, I don't know why, but I'm getting vibes of kind of like Hunger Games, because you got like the jungle setting where Nami was at, and they're hunting down this one guy who's fleeing, who missed his ship, and you got like the blast, like the explosion that's targeted, similar to how Katniss was targeted. I mean, I got a lot of vibes, man. You got the female heroine. That's just what I took away from it. So, as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, share. I will greatly appreciate it. As always, thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.